Hi, for today's song of the day, we're looking at Proud of You by Earthgang featuring Young Thug. Earthgang is a hip hop group that a friend of mine has been really into for quite a while, and he's always been getting me to listen to their stuff. And I did listen to some songs, but I don't think I gave them enough of a chance. It wasn't until this song, which I mostly listened to because of the Young Thug feature, honestly, that I really fell in love and I kind of started to see their genius. It's a really wonderfully uplifting song. A lot of it kind of reminds me of chance type stuff, where the beat has this like really kind of sunniness to it, I think is the only way I can put it. And the rappers are just so kind of joyous and exuberant over the beat. There's like a real sense of like celebration, I guess. Lyrically, of course, it lines up completely with that. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Ah, it's so lovely. It's just a complete and total song of affirmation. Um, the production is genius too in the beat switch that comes in, and it's tough to make a song that has kind of like a stability and energy to it that it can have this sort of joy, right? This sort of bright tone and yet also be hard hitting enough to support like really kind of kinetic verses. Normally, like if you do that sort of thing, you can come to sometimes get like a really awesome juxtaposition where a rapper is flowing really hard over something that is kind of like bright and poppy, and that sort of juxtaposition is really cool. But I think there's like even more potential if you can just make something that just miraculously works, and this is definitely that. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's great. This These verses are great, and then Thugger comes in with like one of the hardest verses he's done in quite a while. Um, he he has like this really good kind of like relentlessness that I think characterizes a lot of his best rapping. Where it seems not only is everything just kind of flowing out of him effortlessly, but there's like such a pressure behind it. If that sounds paradoxical, it just means that my image wasn't expressed clearly enough. But you know, like a big waterfall, like a big waterfall. It has the simplicity in it's just pouring water over its side. It's just all gravity that's making it happen. It has that feeling of effortlessness and naturalness and inevitability. But when you also think of the insane amount of water pressure that's actually being created by this, like the insane amount of movement, the actual volume of water going over the falls, and thinking of like the huge reservoir that must have existed to create that, it's like it's beyond effortless. Like you somehow then must attribute some effort to it just in the sheer amount of energy. Does any of this make sense? I don't know. It's really good. All I'm trying to say is that I'm really impressed with it. I also really like when he says "Little baby, I'm proud of you," because it kind of sounds like he's talking about the rapper Lil Baby, who's like another definite Young Thug protege. Um, okay, so like we established that this verse is godlike, and as a huge Young Thug fanboy, this is just kind of like what I want in hip hop at the most general level. But I think it's actually topped by this last verse by Dr. Dot, where he manages to match Young Thug's energy and match Young Thug's creativity to such an extent that when I first heard this song for a little bit, I was like, oh my god, is this another Thugger verse? But I was like, no, this doesn't quite sound like Young Thug. But when he talks about the Energizer batteries, I was like, hey, Young Thug, Young Thug has that line. Shoot, I can't think of it. But Young Thug has definitely mentioned the Energizer Bunny before. um, but this verse is like really intensely dense and clever. Um, I'm talking about Harriet Tubman and then throwing in the "I'm proud of you" ad lib. Oh, that's so good. The lithium bubbling, like who has ever combined those words before? It has such a really awesome assonance feel. Pray for me, even though I don't deserve it. I like I don't know. It's a really impressively complex verse in its imagery and in its syllabary and you know like the sound of it and such. But again, he manages to compete with Young Thug on this level of like effortless mastery, which I really did not think I would ever hear on a song before. So yeah, I was stunned by this thing. It's really nice. It's so uplifting. It's so wholesome. And yet it scratches that itch I have for just like really interestingly rhythmical melodic rap. That normally I have to go into the real depths of trap to find. But here it combines it again, yeah, with like a sunniness and brightness that reminds me more of like Chance the Rapper. So, well, yeah, what can I say, man? This song is great. I really am going to listen to more Earthgang because of it. I'm sure I want to go back now and listen to all their stuff with a greater focus and appreciation. Sounds fucking incredible. Hell yeah, it does. Okay, that's all for today's.